What is a Korok's favorite science fiction movie? Planet It of the Apes. Happy Sunday, my friends, and welcome to the stream. We've got Sir Rack of Lamb first in chat tonight, followed by Dead Zergling, who may have been having some technical issues, it would appear. And Lucent Jelly is here as well. Welcome in, Jelly. Frank Korokstein. uh, I, I, I want to say, I want to say my line was a little slightly smoother than that, like maybe 2.3% smoother. Pleasure to have you here, my friends. Thank you for thank you for joining me. Sarak of Lamb says, "Hope y'all had a great weekend." Zergling says, "Twitch made my keyboard cursor jump out of chat for no reason. Almost want to turn Twitch off just to spite it." Well, I'm very happy that you're still with us, Zergling. It was a stretch for sure, Sarak of Lamb says. Oh, excuse me one moment. Jelly has some coffee for me. I will be right back. All right. Thank you, Jelly. Circling says Twitch allied with Sir Rack of Lamb against me, I tell you. So we're gonna play Tears of the Kingdom tonight, my friends. This week we've got Tears of the Kingdom on 2 nights, tonight and Thursday. We've got Batman and Robin on the Genesis, Wario Land 3 on the Game Boy Color, Jump King, A Night of All Jump King on Tuesday. And we're going to play Time Tunnel again on Friday. I can't give up on Time Tunnel. I've sunk so much time into it. I don't know what's happened to me. I don't know what has happened to me, but I I kind of like Time Tunnel. And where we left off was a moment of potential progress. Uh was the thing. I discovered how to do something amazing right at the end of our time with it last week. And it opened up one more room to us that I don't know what's inside of it because I couldn't check last week, but I will 100% be able to when we pick it up again. Provided I don't forget everything I learned about the game by Friday. All right, let's pull up the game and get my big head out of the way. And we can dive in here. Zergling says, to be honest, I have an easier time keeping interested in viewing Time Tunnel than Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, I can understand that. What was I up to? So we're in a new cave. So there should be a shrine here and a shrine here. But I also found this cave. I went looking for this shrine and didn't find it. But we'll, we're not gonna give up on it. We'll go look again. I was gonna go over here and see if this shrine is any what more obvious. But I found this cave along the way. So we need to find the bubble frog inside of this cave. I kind of rushed through this, so... Here we are. That is a little bit... I guess that is a little bit surprising, Zergling, because I kind of felt... And both things aren't mutually exclusive, but I kind of felt that you hated Time Tunnel a little bit. So, I mean, I could have had the wrong problem. I could have had the wrong impression, or also, you know, both things can simultaneously be true, of course. I don't know. I can't believe. On the one hand, I can't believe how long I stuck with that game, and on the other hand, I'm kind of proud. I'm kind of proud of myself for the progress I made, even though it was so small. It was so. I figured out. I spent like 6 hours of that game, and I figured out how to do almost nothing. That's that like that 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 stream has so much downtime. I hated the seizure time travel moment, Zergling says, but didn't hate the game itself. I'm just hoping that if I make, like, that there will be a tipping point where if I make a certain threshold of progress, the game will unlock and become easy. Um, I've heard that with time travel, the results can be magnificent. The rewards are magnificent. Uh, did you ever play King's Quest or Space Quest? I have not, Zergling. They're the games are very similar in how you play, with very similar to Time Tunnel, with less seizures. Yeah, the flashing lights in Time Tunnel are kind of inexcusable, but the thing was, like, just video games in general had flashing lights back then. Like, that was just the way video games were, right? It's hard to avoid. Oh, we got the bubble frog. Excellent. Wonderful. No, I don't actually want to go this way. I changed my mind right as I was jumping. My bad, Shelly says. No worries. Itarama, welcome in. Always a pleasure, Itty. I hope you are doing well. They're PC games, but I guarantee your system could handle them. And OBS simultaneously, they were made for, like, Pentium 1 or 2 Max. Yeah, but I still have the problems. I would still have the problems, Zergling, if I would have to tab between the windows. My laptop cannot do 2 screens, and I don't want my chat hidden for, like, I don't want to go full screen game to switch into the trying to toggle to the chat, and I like everything viewable at once. I would have to find another way to do them, or I'll have to wait until I have a dual monitor PC. I am gonna perpetually be stubborn about that. That's not a that's the like that's there's no way that I'm gonna do a situation where I'm gonna be running the a game on the same screen as my stream. I do know of the King's Quest and Space Quest games though. Like I know they're point and click adventures. I know they're extremely obtuse. I've never watched any of them played. Um, Outside of like the bare minimum of like a clip here or there. And I couldn't tell you from which. Um, they have been recommended to me as things that people think that I would like. Let's see what this guy has to say. Itty says doing all right. Hope Frowntown as well. No complaints. Jelly and I have had a pretty good weekend ourselves. We went out to we made our way out to the park a few times. We had some wonderful sort of deconstructed tacos. We had nachos with meat on them for dinner yesterday, and we went to like a Chinese buffet restaurant for an early dinner today. So we've had little adventures and we've eaten well. Things are pretty good. Dude alert, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Chinese sounds pretty good. We were gonna pick up takeout from Panda Express, but when we went there, they told us they didn't have any shrimp, and that was a deal breaker for me because I really wanted shrimp. I didn't end up getting shrimp at the buffet place, so I didn't actually get my shrimp either way, but it was still really good. They were short on shrimp, you say, Zergling says. Good day, or as the Gerudo say in their language, Savak. I've been studying the language a bit. Do you know about tumbleweeds? What? What? That's such a non sequitur. They're the weeds rolling around in Gerudo Canyon. It's fun to watch them, but did you know that you can break them open too? Sometimes you find something inside. Things must get tangled up in them while they roll around. You know, I lived in Texas for like 7 years. I never saw one tumbleweed. When did this game come out? Oh, this is a very new game. This came out in May. I am I'm pretty overwhelmingly a retro guy, but I will play a new game on the Switch here and there. Yep, leave a restaurant because no shrimp, go to a different one, and end up not having shrimp anyway. Life is like that sometimes. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't gonna go everywhere all around town to every to every restaurant to try and find shrimp. I've got shrimp. I've got shrimp in the freezer, so I mean, if I really had to have it, I was in a position to prepare my own. I just didn't. I saw tumbleweeds in Texas, Doodlerd says. Around Lubbock. I don't know if I ever passed by that way. I was in the Houston, Galveston area is where I lived. And we didn't do a whole lot of traveling around the state. We would go camping a couple times a year, somewhere on the far side of San Antonio. I'm not exactly sure where. It was somewhere our friends picked out. We would just follow them. I saw tumbleweeds all the time in Eastern Washington. Very common. Oh, I was gonna say I didn't actually finish that thought. Was that I need to pick that Korok up. I hope he doesn't despawn. Let me check in with this person. You found me. I was sure nobody'd come looking for me all the way out here. Got split up from my friends. Tried looking for them. But then the dehydration set in and I couldn't move. Sure could you go for a skosh of splash fruit. Here you go. Ooh, I could kiss you right now. Thanks. Ah, now that's refreshing. Never in my life have I been so grateful for splash fruit. I think that now, yep, my limbs work again. Better go and meet up with my friends, eh? Thanks for the save, pal. Right on. Oh. Uh-oh. What's happening? I'm stuck. That was very odd. I was gonna say, I lived in Texas for like 7 years. I never saw a single tumbleweed. I think I've only seen a tumbleweed once in my life, and I'm not 100% sure, but it was after right after we'd moved out of Texas. We moved up to Wisconsin, and I was driving home to visit my family in Kentucky, and as I was driving across Illinois, I saw a tumbleweed blow across the highway, and I kind of say I think because I'm not 100% sure if I actually saw one or if I hallucinated one, because the scenery is quite barren. Driving through some areas of Illinois. A lot of flat, open, empty land. That looks like a giant booger. Oh no. I haven't thought that before. I suppose the coloration is just right. Is this a cave? It is. All right, cool. We have a lot of things to do right now. We've got a shrine, a Korok, and a new cave. The weather is really getting to me too. Cart. That's everything I need. Feels like Breath of the Wild just came out. I've been waiting until I can afford a Switch. These graphics look good. Yeah, they're not it's not the maybe the razor, the razor point of the cutting edge this game, but for sure. But I think that it looks really good. I like the style is the art style is pretty good. It's a little weird. It's kind of like a compromise between Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. Like the game kind of looks like a halfway point between the art styles of those two games. You scared me. You're moving me, then you must be able to see me. Be gentle, okay? I'm in a real pickle. I was traveling with somebody and got separated. Oh, hey, excellent. You are actually going the same way we are. Yes, I know. Stop. Stop talking to me and just let me pick you up. So my plan had been to attach both the Korok and the crystal to my plane because I thought I was going to have to take them in opposite directions. Victory. I've had some really wonderful times with the Switch. I've really enjoyed it. So I hope you are able to hope you're able to get your hands on one, and when you do, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I have had. The Switch was the first time I'd gotten a new when I picked it up, it was the first time I'd gotten a new console at launch in a very long time. my goodness, my plane is too heavy. I can't get any altitude. I had an uncle that lived in Houston. He designed the spacesuits a long time ago. He's some kind of engineer. Wow. That's quite the job. Koroks are so adorable until you hear their little speech for the 30th time and counting. Just trying to help this guy out, and he just keeps telling me the same thing again and again. Don't think I've ever gotten a console at launch. It's not, yeah, it's not something that I necessarily tend to aim for a lot. I'm not much of an early adopter. But I did get swept up and feel a considerable amount of hype for the Switch. I think I've gotten 3 consoles at launch. I got the Nintendo 64 at launch when I was a kid, and I got the GameCube at launch. Uh-oh. Persephone, welcome to the stream, and thank you for the wheel. We'll give that a spin in just a moment. I hope your weekend has treated you well. Might have gotten the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance at launch. I know I didn't get the Game Boy Color at launch. One of my friends had a Game Boy Color for a long time before I got one. I was still hanging out with the old gray brick for the longest time. It took a very long time to upgrade. Game Boy Advance. I don't remember when I got the Game Boy Advance compared to its launch. I feel like I got it pretty early, but not right away. The Nintendo 64 I got at launch because Nintendo had sent me one of those promotional VHS tapes. And so, like, I knew it was coming out, and I was hyped for it, and I had some time to save up for it. And the GameCube I got right at launch. My dad had promised me that he would get me a GameCube if I got straight A's on my report card, because I'd never done that before. And it worked. I got the GameCube in 2002. That was a cool console. I had some really fun times with the GameCube, but I didn't enjoy its entire lifespan. I only really played it for the first couple of years, because after that I went to college, and when I left for college, I I didn't really play modern games anymore for a very long time. I only took my Super Nintendo with me to college and just like a handful of favorite titles, and I spent most of my time just replaying classics when I was playing games, replaying favorites. Almost didn't play anything new for a very long time. Only systems I got at launch were the SNES and the NES Mini, Sir Rack of Lamb says. I let an acne research company test their medication on me, Doodlert says, for the money to buy the Game Boy Advance. I've never participated in a trial like that before, but it has occurred to me from time to time. Well, once upon a time. It's been a long time since I've thought about it, but there was a point. I read that as Acme the first time, Sir Rack of Lamb says. That you don't want Acme products tested on you. I've seen those Roadrunner cartoons. 99.99. Tommy, welcome in. 500 something dollars on a Dreamcast, 4 games, and some controllers. All right, let's spin the wheel and see what we get. Some kind of spicy or sour thing to sample. And it will be almonds. These are Blue Diamond Extreme Almonds. Carolina Reaper variety. They're not really all that hot. They are pretty tasty, though. I like them anyway. They've got a smoky kind of flavor to them, with a seasoning that reminds me of Chex Mix. But a pinch at a time, like I tend to have them, and a fairly generous pinch. But they're not world-endingly hot. They're a very manageable spice level. Again, at least when you're only having one pinch, like, I can definitely feel a burn. And I imagine if you ate, I think if I ate a whole can of those, my stomach would be tremendously upset. But a pinch at a time, they're pretty good. They're not really that powdery, but I wipe my fingers a whole lot just because I really don't want to get gunk on my controller. The only system I ever had at launch was the PSP, Itty says, I think. I got that way late. I think the Vita might have been out by the time I got a PSP. I had the Nintendo DS at launch too, but didn't play it much. So I did end up getting a Wii and a DS while those systems are still current, but I didn't use them a whole lot. And I only ended up with them because I was able to get them secondhand. I know I bought the DS because I got the Model 1 DS I bought from a friend when he got the DS Lite. He sold me his original DS really cheap. And I think he sold me a Wii as well, but I don't know why he would have replaced his Wii. Because I know he still had it because we played Mario Kart together. But I don't know why he would have sold me one and got a new one. So I think I'm remembering that wrong. Yeah, I know they upgraded it, but they released another model, but I feel like when they did that, they removed functionality. You might be right though. I mean, it might have been that. I think I might be remembering it wrong though. I might not have bought the Wii from him. I might have bought that from a thrift shop or something, or a yard sale or something. I don't know how it would have ended up there. I don't know. I've definitely bought a Wii. I've definitely found a Wii at a thrift shop before. Dynamite, welcome in. Congratulations on the Super Ghouls and Ghosts victory, my friend. Well done. Very well done, Dynamite. I'm really happy that you stuck with it and saw it through to the end. I got a PB and J at lunch, Sir Akablam says. All right, first shrine of the night is complete. We need to go back to this cave, and then we need to go look for this other shrine here. gave me all the stuff that I would have needed to make a boat, I think, at the entrance to this, and I just wasted a bunch of Zonite creating one out of nothing instead. That wasn't a really clever move. Not that Zonite is that precious of a resource, but... I will be at least mildly annoyed with myself if I have to make a trip to go mine more. Intentionally. Let's not lose my boat. The hardest part of Super Ghouls and Ghosts is a certain boss battle where the clock is your worst enemy. I'm sure you know exactly which one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, the, people sometimes, when I've been playing through the game, like, people have occasionally commented, like, they're like, oh my goodness, on top of all this, there's a time limit to worry about as well? And, I'm always like, yeah, I never really feel the pressure of the clock in the game. It's not, like, the time they give you is fairly generous. So, I never have to worry about time over. I never feel the pressure of the clock, except one battle. Yep. I mean, that's why I make such a big deal about doing 2 loops, because that's where like all the mechanics of the game like come together, and just this like perfect storm of torment that you never get to experience, right? If you like people who just play one loop of the game, like you'll never see why where it really gets so tough. Even if you get a clean run on the level, that fight can still be a clock burner. Oh, yeah. 100%. And, and when you're playing on professional difficulty as well, I don't know if you, if you cranked it up or not on your playthrough. It's not really all that different, except, the bosses do have significantly more health. So when you do that fight on professional difficulty, you need to fight really aggressively, or the clock is gonna run out before their health does. Like, almost guaranteed. Oh yeah. I was sorry. I meant that for Dynamite. I didn't know. I thought that you always played it on professional Itty. I thought I remembered that, but yeah. Like some of the stage hazards, that's like really the only difference is when you change the difficulty. Like there's a little bit of difference in speed, so like, you know, like the random enemies spawn a little bit more frequently, but I don't really like it's barely noticeable. I feel like that's barely noticeable. The things that are really the things that I actually notice are that the stage hazards move a little more quickly, and the bosses have more health. But it's really only in a few of the stage hazards and that last boss fight with the bracelet and the two guys that I really feel like it even makes much of a difference. I only have one shield. I only have one shield that will withstand electricity, and it's my weakest one. Oh, and none of my weapons right now are good for it either. And it's raining. You know what? Let me just teleport. Let me just teleport away from here. This is a bad time to try and climb. It might be a weak shield, Zergling says, but it's amazing. That's good. That's good. That's... I'm surprised I get that. This is a direct sequel to this is a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild. It's it's the same world and characters as that game. Did you ever play Zelda 2? I have. We haven't done it on the stream. But I have played through it. I'm actually a really big fan of Zelda 2. I I like that game quite a bit. I've only managed to beat it once. I've started it up a lot of times, but I typically only get about halfway through on any given playthrough. I actually I actually would say that I think I like Zelda 2 more than Zelda 1. Um, I don't think it's the better game. I couldn't make an argument for it being the better game, and I don't think I would want to try and make that argument, but I do think that I like it better. Um, My problems with Zelda 1 are that it's a little bit too... It's a little bit too cryptic for me. It's bomb, you know, bomb every wall, burn every bush approach is kind of rough. I mean, I want to say that I like the idea that secrets can be anywhere. I think my biggest problem is that I feel like bombs are such a precious resource that it hurts so much to waste them on failed searches. Like, I do feel like it's good to have you know, you want to have consequences. I don't have the full Yiga outfit. Oh no. That's bad. That's really bad. Oh no, I'm never going to be able to do this shrine. There's no way I'm going to find the last piece of Yiga clothing. I'm doomed. I mean, the shrine is 100% behind this door. I will in no way believe anything else. Oh no, this is terrible. This is... And the blood moon's rising? It's not even nighttime, is it? I guess it is. It looks so bright. I don't know why the blood moon comes up every night. I think my copy of the game is bugged. Oh, boy, this is terrible. I have no idea. I have no idea where I could possibly go to find Yiga pants. We got one of the pieces of the outfit up here. I got another piece on the Great Plateau. I will have to scour the whole map for a pair of pants to access this shrine. I cannot believe this. I hope I'm wrong.
When the glow of the blood-stained moon shines upon the land.
Oh, but yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit tedious / obtuse to find some of the secrets in Zelda 1. But at the same time, I think the secrets are all too obvious in A Link to the Past, so... Perhaps I can just never be satisfied. Zelda 2 is pretty crazy cryptic, too, so, I mean, it's not like... It's not like that game is perfectly defensible. Also, that the dungeons in Zelda 1 are so heavily geared toward combat. And I've never been good. I've never been good enough, I guess, at Zelda. I've never been good enough at Zelda 1 combat to find it not frustrating. I think Zelda 2, never beat Zelda 2. I think it's more fun than the first Zelda. Never beat Zelda 1. Some places near the beach to bomb are hard to find. Pretty much just like playing Doom Zelda for playing Zelda 1. I'd heard that they'd made a Zelda Doom mod. I haven't checked it out though. Majora's Mask I have played. I really like Majora's Mask. I've only beaten Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening is really good. Majora's Mask had to grow me a bit. I didn't like it at first. Majora's Mask is definitely one of the less popular titles. Can I get a break? My goodness. There's just enemies everywhere 100% of the time. What next? I feel like I'm in a Hollow Knight Coliseum. Way too much going on. You have a moment to breathe. My goodness. Oh, hey, we have a raid coming in. Nice. Welcome in, raiders. King David, great to see you again. Give a shout out to our fellow Tears of the Kingdom enthusiast. I hope the game was treating you well tonight. We've been rolling along for about an hour. I've completed one shrine. I've narrowed down the location of a second, but I'm afraid it may be very difficult to access. I think I've got an idea about how to reach it, but I'm double checking the area to, well, because I'm kind of hoping I'm wrong. Hey, Absolute Aaron, welcome in. I'm definitely not very retro tonight. I'll have to just try to maintain a retro spirit in my heart. Dude Alert says, there's not many games I've actually beat. I have fun with them, but I often won't beat them, even if I like them. It's been sort of a mix for me. There was a good while where it was very easy for me to get distracted away from games. So there are quite a handful of games that like I really enjoyed but didn't necessarily ever make a meaningful amount of progress in. The stream has helped with that a lot. The stream has definitely helped with that a lot. It has done a good job to keep me focused and to keep me and to sort of force me to make my way through games even if I would prefer to not continue playing them. Which is good because it pains my heart to leave something unfinished. I really I really like. I'm not really comfortable with sampling things. Like when I start up a game, like I really want to take it to credits as much as I can, and so it's definitely nice to have now the sort of outsourced motivation to keep me at things. What were you playing retro lately? I missed it. So lately, I've been working on. I'm trying to beat the Adventures of Batman and Robin on the Genesis. Wario Land 3 on the Game Boy Color, and a game called Time Tunnel on the Commodore 64. Those are my ongoing retro projects right now. Are those three games? There's usually more retro than modern on the stream. I'm also working on Jump King, which is not a retro game. It looks like a retro game though. It's a it's got a throwback style to it. Pat yourself on the back for making it here. That's no mean feat. The old cliff in this area crumbled during the upheaval. The debris completely blocked off the road I used to walk. Luckily, they made a new one. If you're going to the Dig Dog suspension bridge, use that. I really thought that person was going to turn out to be part of the Yika clan. I basically think that anytime I come across a human walking alone in the world. I highly recommend Final Fantasy VII. Dude Alert says. So I have all of the Final Fantasy games. Well, I have 1 through 9, except 3. 3 is the only one I don't have of the. But I think. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I have 3 on any. I don't know if I don't think I have any version of 3. Unless it's been released on the Game Boy Advance, then I might be able to play it on there. But I don't know if it has. But I haven't played... The only Final Fantasy game I've played is Mystic Quest, which I actually like quite a bit. That was a very charming game. Yahaha! There's kind of multiple Final Fantasy 3s. I mean, I just going by the original Japanese numbers. Final Fantasy 3 NES is the I think that was an NES game originally. Maybe I shouldn't proclaim things I'm not sure about. I have a version of, but I have a version of 1 to 9 is what I mean, except for 3. I've got 1 and 2 on. Well, I've got them all on the PlayStation. They're all on the they're all on the PS1. My physical copies. I'm playing a Legend of Legola right now. Started playing it a few years ago. Was not able to finish it due to a bad disc. I don't know this game, Sir Rackablam. Is it probably an RPG of some sort? Would be my guess. But like, you know, what be curious to know like what console is it on and such. I'm never as far away from those guys as I think I am. Oh, I hate the desert so much. Hate having to swap out my clothes every 2 seconds. NES 3 looks good. There's an English patch for it available. SNES 3 is 6, yeah. There's a couple remakes of the original NES 3, yeah. So 1 and 2 I would be playing as remakes on the PlayStation. Lagaya? Oh, that's an I, not an L. I always have that problem if I see a word that I can't figure out from the context. I can't tell lowercase i's and lowercase l's apart in the chat because the font is too small. The dot over the I just bleeds into it, makes it look like a lowercase l. I'm making mistakes like that all the time. Oh, and I skipped over King David's statement about I need to play Majora's Mask now that it's on the Switch Online. I hope if you do give that one a try, I hope you enjoy it. I played that one as a kid, and I'm pretty sure like I've never 100%ed it. I usually don't 100% Zelda games. I don't know why. Like, I really love Zelda titles, and I like to 100% a lot of games that I play, but I almost never take a, I don't think I've ever 100%ed a Zelda game, but I was pretty sure that I beat the game and got all the masks as a kid. And we played it on the stream, and I became a little less sure of how much of it I'd actually done before, because a lot of it, when we did it on the stream, a lot of it felt really unfamiliar to me. I don't actually understand how this puzzle works. Put that fire in my way and messed up my life. Let's continue this way. I tried to play it on the N64, but the controller is awful now that I'm an adult. I don't hate the N64 controller, but it's hard to defend from like a looking back perspective. It was mostly admirable. Its design was mostly admirable at the time. Or rather, largely admirable. But, yeah. Especially, like, I don't know, if you're using, like, an original controller, like, that's seen a lot of wear, they really don't hold up, and they become very frustrating to use. I'm kind of lucky for the time being, because the N64 controller that I've used on the stream, I got way more recently as a piece of new old stock. So it doesn't have, like, you know, I've used it a fair bit on the stream now. So it's got some wear to it, but I mean, it's nothing like, you know, the condition of my childhood controllers, which are all in very rough shape. Gerudo Canyon Mine. Please don't freeze me. Nice. Only Final Fantasy game I've played is the one where Kefka has the awesome giant tower at the end. One of my favorite stages in gaming ever. I think you'd like that game, Frownie. It's pretty fun. We have to see. I'm scared to play RPGs. I don't like games. I don't like games with a lot of story in them. Like, you know, RPGs are kind of they're a type of game that's really rough for me because of two big factors. One, I don't like games that take the control away from the player and force them to sit through a whole lot of story segments, which, you know, most people play RPGs for the story. So, like, I know they're very talky games, and that's bad for me. I don't like that kind of thing. I don't want cutscenes and long stretches of dialogue. So, like, that's rough. And their heavily menu based nature is also not appealing to me. I like to be very much like, I like games with a very like athletic sense of control over your character. I like one-to-one character control and actions. The idea of like selecting actions for my character to perform from a menu and just watching them do stuff while I, issue a series of commands is much less interesting to me. Now, this isn't to say I haven't played my way through a couple RPGs, because I've played a few of them. But it's not my preferred style. Like, I like high action, high gameplay, low story. So RPGs are rough for me. They're very rough for me. Dynamite, I missed that comment. Don't say Dig Dog out loud, Frownie. He might show up again. I'm reading Dynamite and Dude Alert. I'm mixing up some of your comments as I read them because your names are the same color font in my chat. And they both I guess because they both start with a D and end with a T. Like, I know there's some numbers there at the end of Dude Alert, but I've I've been mixing up a few of your comments in my head when I read them. uh, they're both blue on my end. It happens. It's no, there's only so many color options, and so, I get people I get people in the chat with the same colored names frequently, but when it happens, I do sometimes mix them up for a while. Let's see if I can change my color. I mean, that might make things a little bit easier. It is 100% not necessary, though. Now that I'm aware that I'm doing it, I can be more careful. I can't believe how big this game is. Oh yeah, this one, like Breath of the Wild, I thought was a tremendously huge game, and this game is just even just so much more. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. No worries, Dude Alert. It's fine. I appreciate the thought. All right, victory. All right, let me catch up here. I've let a lot of the chat slip by me. King David says, well, Dude Alert said, I like the off-brand controllers for the N64. King David says, off-brand is reasonable, not a trident. I haven't had a, I've seen some Nintendo 64 controllers that look like they are big improvements. I haven't had one myself that I've liked better yet, though. I only have one off-brand N64 controller, and it's the Super Pad 64, which looks like it should be an improvement, but it's not actually very comfortable to use. You would probably not like Final Fantasy games. Yeah, I'm kind of worried about it. Do you like Pokemon? I do like Pokemon, but I'm really just kind of a Gen 1 guy. I I played through Pokemon Blue. I've dabbled in a couple other Pokemon games, but not really seen them through properly, except Pokemon Arceus I played all the way through. I actually could have played that game more because I was kind of rushing it quite a bit toward the end just to sort of get through it. So I did skip over a lot of the stuff in that game. Like I did virtually none of the like side quest stuff. I have pretty highly mixed feelings about that game overall as well. Thank you for the pistachios, by the way, Dude Alert. Always lovely to stop and enjoy a little snack. Dynamite says Ninja Gaiden on the NES, still the best cutscenes ever. I've played through Ninja Gaiden quite a few times. I don't know that I've ever properly paid attention to the cutscenes. Long RPGs I have a hard time with for the same reason Sirac of Lamb says. I have several RPGs I may never play because of how long they are. Xenosaga 1, 2, and 3 are a few of them. With as slow as I play a game that would take several months to beat, and years if I played all 3 games. Like Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, and the trading card game on the Game Boy Color. So, Pokemon Blue I had as a kid. I played through. I loved it. It was magical and wonderful, and I will always consider it a great time. I also got Pokemon Gold when that one came out, but I didn't really play the game. All I did was transfer my team over from Blue and just steamroll Pokemon Gold. So it can't really be said that I played that one. Not properly, at least. I sampled a little bit of Pokemon Platinum and Heart Gold, the remake, but didn't make it very far into either. And Arceus is the one. I played Arceus all the way through. Except I played it right up to the true ending, but I don't know exactly how the game works, but wasn't actually able to get it because I think it requires you to complete your Pokédex to get the true ending, and I wasn't going to do that. I played it all the way up until the point where there was some character that said to me something that I basically interpreted as like, hey, you're almost done. Just come back and see me when the Pokédex is complete. And I was like, well, I guess that means I'm done. I like the gameplay in Pokemon Arceus. Like I like the walking around and hunting for the Pokemon out in the wild and the exploration type stuff. I thoroughly despise all of the story. So it's a game I'm very mixed on. It's like the newest, or not the newest, but it's a newer Pokemon game. It's on the Switch. And I think it's spelled with a C. I think it's Arceus. It might be Arceus too. I don't know if the C. I don't know if it's if the C makes an S sound or a K sound. I don't know if I've ever heard the word out loud. Dynamite says RPGs were invented for very early computer gaming before proper platforming and fighting could be pulled off correctly. Basically an early simulation with commands from the player. I also feel it's a weird genre to still exist. Not my thing either. I think when it comes to RPGs, like more like action RPG type games are the ones that are likely to get more like a more positive reception from me. Like I played through Final Fantasy Adventure on the Game Boy, and that was a lot of fun. And I think I like the, Final Fantasy Adventure is not a Final Fantasy game. It's a mana game that was just retitled Final Fantasy for marketing. I think I'll probably like the other mana games if they're fairly similar to that, though. Secret of Mana and whatever the other one is. I think there's a third one. There's a remake of Final Fantasy Adventure, actually. I think it's called Sword of Mana on the Game Boy Advance. I don't know what I'm supposed to put here. My weapon break? Oh no. Oh no, there it is. I didn't know where that weapon was. Okay. That's fine. Well, some point I'll figure it out. It's not really that big of a deal. You'd probably like Diablo. I'm not sure. Haven't really looked into it. I don't like that it's got like a isometric viewpoint, but I've made my way through those style of games before. I had all the Final Fantasy Legend games and the adventure game. Right on. I haven't played the Legends one, but yeah, Final Fantasy Adventure was a lot of fun. I made the big mistake of naming the characters in Final Fantasy Adventure when we played that one. I named them Smile and Frown, and I just drew, you know, those with like the colon and parentheses in the game. Like I just drew a smiley face and a frowny face for their names. And that was a terrible mistake because it made the dialogue an incomprehensible mess to read. when the two characters were there at the same time and talking to each other. There's just smiley and frowny faces all over the place. I actually need to go past this stable. I don't think I ever befriended a dog here before. Hey, doggo. There you are. Have some meat. Perfect. Now we are best friends. I enjoyed point-and-click games more than RPGs, but those didn't survive, Dynamite says. I don't know that I've ever played a proper point-and-click yet, but, I've played games that I think are at least very similar. Hey, Korok, where are we going? That's not that bad. I can't help but smile whenever I've got customers, whether it's 1 or 100. It's not enough that the intense desert days and freezing desert nights have reached Gerudo Cavern. Thanks to the sand shroud, there hasn't been any business here at all. If you're interested in sand seals, then you're in the right place. Sand seals are animals that can cruise easily through the desert, and this shop is where we rent them to travelers. Many travelers embark on journeys in the desert only to discover how quickly their feet sink into the dunes. So if you're thinking of crossing the desert, you should make it easy on yourself and go sand seal surfing instead. Renting a sand seal costs 20 rupees, or if you're interested in a sleigh seal, a sand seal with a carrier, it's 50 rupees. No, thank you. Sand shroud has made crossing the desert even more dangerous than normal, you know. Excuse me. If you're looking to rent a sand seal, go right ahead. Don't mind me. I'm busy trying to figure out how I'll get back to Gerudo Town. It's a bit hard to see right now because of the sand shroud covering the desert. Look far in the distance. Do you see that shrine peeking out above the sand shroud? That's where Gerudo Town is. Shrines just like that one appeared all over the world after the upheaval. Lucky for me, too. If that one hadn't shown up, I'd have completely lost sight of town. Of course, it's really hard to see inside the sand shroud, so it might be impossible to reach town even with a sand seal. I was supposed to investigate those ruins, too, but trying to travel in the sand shroud was a terrible idea. Maybe I should just stay at Kara Bazaar and rest. It'd mean giving up getting back to town, but... ... Horror genre came across great in the point-and-click style. Day of the Tentacle. I've heard of that game. So it's only natural that I played next to zero, point and click games because I don't play PC games. I've always been a console guy, basically. Why did this fall over? Hang on, I don't get it. Oh, I put the stabilizer on upside down? Really? Well, that's silly. Everything always insists on connecting in the worst way. Are you traveling too? You must have had a rough time in that heat. I'm glad it cooled off a little. A swing in temperature from day to night sure makes traveling tricky. Preparation is the key. I always keep elixirs on hand that can heat me up or cool me down. Without them, I'd be done for. Yeah, I don't like traveling in the desert. The wheels don't work very well in the desert. I should have considered that. I think Day of the Tentacle's on the Switch now. That would be convenient. Clock Tower series. Phantasmagoria. Peace, that cat. Welcome in. Hope your weekend has treated you well, my friend. Body Harvest was both bad and good at the same time. I don't know why I'm so stubbornly sticking to this mistake of a vehicle. Came back from a yakinku shabu place with some friends. Full of broth. Sounds to me like a rather happy condition. Oh, it's yakiniku, perhaps? Still probably saying that wrong. I didn't notice the second I there. It's grilled food you make on tables built into the grill. Shabu shabu is a hot pot with food you cook in the broth. So, are those the Japanese terms for that style of food? So I've definitely had the built into the table grill. That's how we would have barbecue in Korea. I really like that setup. I don't know, like the term we would have used would be galbi, I think, for the Korean barbecue, but I don't think that refers to specifically like having that style of grill setup. I think that that's just for the meat, though. I think that's just the term for the meat, though. Every place that we went that served galbi would have that sort of setup. I don't think they're necessarily one and the same. I really like those. Built into the table grills, though. Like if I had unlimited dollars, I'd have my kitchen modified to have one of those installed. I don't like my dining room. Because it's a fantastic way to eat. It's expensive for basically cooking your own food, but it's fun with friends. Yeah. uh, I wish I could scale up a 100-foot vertical cliff in 10 seconds and be ready to do it again in 5 seconds. I wish Jump King could climb as easily as Link does. Can Link die from fall damage in this? Oh yeah, you can. You very much can. Even with a whole lot of hearts like I have now, I think I could still rather easily find a place to that would still wipe me out, especially if I had on like a weaker set of armor. It's nice when you can find a little slope that's at a shallow enough angle to let you sort of cheese the climb. Uh, First went to a Korean barbecue, but they wanted a ton of money. $29 for bulgogi, $35 a person for a set of raw meat. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That would break my bank. So I left and went to the Japanese place instead. I get the feeling Jump King lives in a very small mountain range. Hey, Pokemons, welcome in. Hope you've had a good weekend, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Decided to give Baldur's Gate 3 a go tonight. Reviews are really high, and everyone's seemingly going crazy about it. It's high time I see what the hype is all about. I hope you have a lot of fun with it. Oh boy. Phantom Ganon has decided to appear and make a nuisance of himself yet again. Ooh, I like the look of that weapon he's got, though. Uh-oh. Wait a moment. Let me hide out and have some food real quick. Phantom Gan again. My favorite part of pizza is the sauce, Dynamite says. So, of course, the one I ordered tonight, I asked for extra, and there's almost none. What a ripoff. It's hard to choose a favorite part of the pizza for me. Like, if I think about it, like, it's all so good. I guess I would probably rank the sauce as my least favorite, personally. I would probably say the cheese is my favorite part. But, like, whether the sauce ranks above or below the crust would really have to do with, like... I mean, it would really depend on the pizza. I mean, it would depend on the pizza, I think, to the, like, ranking of all three. But I think in general, I would go cheese, crust, and then sauce. Though I don't really mean specifically the crust, I just mean, like, you know, the bread part of the pizza, like, you know. Everywhere. Why does this exist? Where is it that I am supposed to want to ascend to? Oh, I guess... I guess it's for checking out the chasm over there. Pokemon says I went to one of those a couple days ago. $48 for 2 meals and 2 drinks. Baldur's Gate 3 is good, falls apart as the game goes on, but I'm sure they'll fix it in the definitive edition, StatCat says. He would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling kids and their dog. Zergling says, meanwhile, I'm having an extravagant feast of several ounces of beef fat, 1.5 pounds of steak, all for about $9. Nice. If the pizza has stuffed crust, that's my favorite part, StatCat says. Oops. No, what am I doing? I didn't really like stuffed crust pizza for a long time, but I've been coming around to it. I tried it again a couple months ago. For the first time I'd had it in a while, and it was really quite good the last time I had it. I don't know what I didn't really like about it before. I don't actually want to head down to into the depths. I just wanted to activate this chasm on my map. Oh, that's a scary place to go. I don't think I've ever been to that thing over there. I'm gonna go check that out real quick. Breath of the Wild is a bigger map than Skyrim. Is this game's map bigger than Breath of the Wild? Way bigger. Dude alert. Multiply it by 3, Pokemon says. I would say multiply it by 3 is a bit much, but I mean, I would say multiply it by 2, because I would count the sky map and the depths map kind of as one, because the sky map isn't full, and the depths map is full, but there's a lot of empty space. So like, while there's technically land, there's not a lot there. So I'd say if you put the sky map and the depths together, like they kind of equal. Yeah, I'd say it's about twice as big, is what I would say. Logically, it's 3 times as big. Like, you know, from a point of view, but like from if you consider the content of all 3 maps, then I'd say it's about twice as big. I think there's a lot more caves in this game too, though. So even if it were just the surface, I still think there'd be a lot more to it, because I know there were cave systems in the original, but I feel like the caves are more substantial in this. But I don't know, because I never focused on caves in the same way in the first one either. Pizza's my favorite, Doodlert says. Curry's probably my favorite, Statcat says. But yeah, this game is massive, and there's tons of stuff to do. There's no great pizza close to where I live, Dynamite says. Closest one that's bomb is about 45 minutes away. It sounds like you should be baking your own pizzas. I think to really bake your own pizza, like you kind of you you kind of need like a pretty nice pizza oven, right? To make it really worthwhile. Frownie's out here casting pearls before shrines. Buddha fingers, welcome in. Christian Cool, welcome in. Thank you for the lurk. Hope you're having a delightful stream. Things are pretty well. Things are going pretty well. I'm not doing a whole lot because I think the requirements for the next shrine are basically impossible. But I'm mostly alright. Impossible to Frownie or regular impossible? Impossible because of my I mean, if you had a walkthrough, it would be possible. If you looked stuff up, it would be possible, but... It would be easy. It would be easy if, you didn't play like me. But it's hard when you do. I thought you declared you had to cheese all puzzles. Well, not all of them. I've tried to cheese all the puzzles, but like some of them are kind of impossible. No, the thing. So the shrine, the next shrine that I want to access, I can only do it if I find a particular pair of pants. So I have to search. If I want to access this shrine, I have to search the entire map until I find the right pair of pants. Is what I think the situation is. And I mean, as we were just saying, you know, it's a big game world. there's a lot of place to have to look to find if all I'm looking for is one pair of pants. It's a I don't know what I'm gonna do. uh, Learning to make your own food can take a while to get real good, but once you get there, it's hard to go back to letting other people cook wrong for you. The trick to homemade curry is peanut butter, Pokemon says. Without that, you're just going to have soup. Goodness gracious, how will you ever get your hands on those progress gating greaves? Oh, yeah, I missed the. I didn't see there were more G's at the beginning there. Good grief. I wonder if this. I wonder if that is the other one of these guys. That sure looks like him. That's what I was looking for. When I was looking at the map, like kind of scrutinizing it, I was, well, surely I've already been over here. So if that's one of those guys, I should have already talked to him. Maybe I'm a fool though. I can't believe I would have got that close to him and not found him though. There's so many hiding spots down here. Looks like Daggerfall and Arena still have a bigger map size. One of the things that, one of the compounding factors of this map, like, the thing about the map in this game is that, one, it's gargantuan. It's just, it's overwhelmingly huge. But the verticality of this map is just, a thing that just puts it on a whole other level from anything I've experienced. There's like, it's not just that there's so much square footage, but there's so much change in elevation. And in the depths especially, it's really rough. For whatever reason. I really feel the agony of the changes in elevation down here. Is this not the thing? Why does it look so weird? If you're going for map size, No Man's Sky is king, Pokemon says. One open connected world with no loading screens, I think, is Daggerfall, though. I don't even think I know what Daggerfall is. I've heard of No Man's Sky. It is. It is one of these guys. Oh my goodness, it was so hard to find his face. No wonder I never talked to him before. You stand before me, make an offering, offer pose to me, spirits that ought to return to the afterlife. They are pitiful beings. We've read this before. Take it you have encountered my brethren. Stay a moment. My brethren and I have combined our power to create the Gators of the Depths. If you desire it, you must make a suitable offering. Hey, new pants. These are not the pants I need. But I want them. They are a pair of pants I want. Where are they? Oh no, I already have them. Right? Oh no, that's his stock. That's his stock or my stock? His stock. 0 in inventory. Okay, yeah. Thank you. I don't know why I would want to duplicate any of these clothes. I'm getting some bombs. Alright, cool. So there are more. There are more of these guys down here. Hopefully they all show up on the map. They might not. They might not. It would be sure would be convenient if they all did though. There's a lot of areas down here I like. Even though I have the map filled in, I haven't gone anywhere close to a lot of the places down here. I've I've basically just skipped over everything to go from light route to light route, so bargainer statue. So I found one. Where am I? Over here? I don't know if I ever talked to this one. It's labeled, so I must have walked past it. But I don't feel like I ever talked to this one. I think the only one I ever talked to was this one up here. Let's go over here and try and talk to this one. It's weird that it'd be marked without me talking to it. No Man's Sky is literally impossible to go to every planet. Elder Scrolls 2 is Daggerfall. Okay. It's like dominoes, but you knock a bunch of daggers over. It's only for those that live on the edge. Well done, Buddha Fingers. 2 games before Skyrim. 3 games before Skyrim. So I heard of Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. I didn't know what Daggerfall was. Had a lot of fun in the dungeons in that game. I was thinking about getting a Steam Deck to play Arena and Daggerfall, but I'd be better off just buying a cheap PC to play them, Pokemon says. Hello. My brother and I have combined our power to create the Dark Hood. Yeah, let's go. So I have the complete Dark Link outfit now. Alright, so... Found one in the upper left, found one in the bottom right, found one kind of toward the middle. I mean, I don't know where the last one might be, but... wonder how much they vary in size, because like this one, even on the map, is kind of small compared to this guy. Yeah, this guy's way bigger on the map. So that could be an issue. Don't think there would be one. I mean, they're not going to be that close to each other. Some of the stuff, though, you just look at it like, I don't know what that is. Like, if it's just the head of one of those guys, maybe. It's certainly not big enough to be like a whole guy, but... Ah, here we go. There he is. It's like playing Where's Waldo. The Steam Deck seems kind of cool, but I don't know that I could get the use out of it to justify the cost of it. Great for people who want to play PC games on the go and want better graphics than the Switch, but it's very complicated compared to the Switch. I love the Steam Deck. It's so bad. this might be the last of these guys. The Hood of the Depths. I probably don't have enough money for it. I don't. I think he's not the last of those guys. Well, let's go get some more money. I'm collecting all this clothing, and it's not going to get me any closer to the shrine. It's all the wrong kind of stuff. Just install games and play them with the Steam Deck, provided they have controller support, which most do. Alright, let's go back over here, because I think I can talk to any of these guys now. That was showing me where I just was, right? Yeah, I think so. So, well, those guys aren't really all that far apart. If there's a... See, there's a good chance. If you look here, you can see this. It should be a complete square. It's partially obscured by this other, like, this piece of land that is actually over top of it. It's under that. So, like, there could very well be a place where there's one of those bargainer guys, but he's either obscured or completely hidden by something over top of him. Was something I was starting to say before but didn't finish the thought, is like, yeah, that's a worry when it comes to like trying to track these guys down. They could very well have hidden one completely beneath something, and I'll have a real hard time finding him like this, you know? But the thing is, every time I activate one of those guys, they're like, we made a new piece of clothing for one of these two sets, and now both the sets are complete. So, I don't know. That would really make sense for another one of those guys to even exist. if there's no more clothing to be manufactured. But I also feel like the game would have told me if I'd found the last of them. He wouldn't have told me to seek out more. I would hope the game wouldn't tell me to seek out more when there's none left, but I mean, who knows? Games are weird sometimes, right? Oh no. Good news is I had a lot of tasty beef fat, was all great. Bad news is I had too much of it and I have to pay the price with nausea. I just need 19 more. $16 more. Come on. Be nice to find a place with a lot with like more density. Here we go. Perfect. Let's go. Frownie, you're a shopaholic. You figured it's gonna be one of those where I get $2.99 and then I struggle for one more. I wouldn't have been terribly surprised if things had gone like that. I wouldn't have been terribly surprised. All right. It's nice to have a complete set. I'm going to continue to mix and match, though. At least until I can do some more upgrading to some of these pieces. All right. So I do think there's probably more of these guys down here, but since I don't know for sure, and I'm doubtful of what they may have to offer me. I don't think I'm going to spend a lot more time looking for them tonight. Let's do one more quick pass around the land here, and then we will. There's so many places, like there's so... Like this little place down here is tucked away. There's so many places that I haven't been. It's just what I'm... It's just, you know, it's just wow. Is that a partially obscured guy there, maybe? Could be. House of Bones. I don't remember that. I figured there'd be a guy hanging out over here in the lava. Would be a fine place. Or one under the Korok Forest, even. Would make sense as well. Don't see any such thing. I never went around and bought all my arrows like I usually do. The Legend of Fashion, Gears of the Kingdom. Like, okay, gear. Yep. Obviously, I was thinking like cog. I get it. Yeah, I get it now, though. It made more sense than I gave it credit for. Let's take a quick moment to cut the VOD.